Hello, everyone. Welcome back to In the Post with me, Lucius. Today, we got a whole lot of stories. The first one I want to talk about, I think the most interesting one that I want to talk about, are the Washington Wizards, despite having Kyle Kuzma as their second best player, being 5-1. Excuse me? I absolutely love to see it from Kuz. But I don't think he was the main focus in this game. He was great, 17 points, 17 rebounds. He's out there looking like Dennis Rodman. 2 for 4 from beyond the arc. Montrez, by the way, 1 of 3. Montrez is starting to shoot threes for some reason. I don't know why, but he was 1 of 3. 20 points, 14 rebounds from him. 6 of 14, including a half-court buzzer beater in the second half. Second half, I think. I do not remember. Bradley Beal, obviously being Bradley Beal, 36 points, 12 of 32 from the field. Spencer Dinwiddie had 4 points, 9, 20, I'm sorry, I said 4 points, 20 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. Not a great shooting night from him, but he still did his thing. And same with Davis Bertans. He was 2 of 9 from beyond the arc. For a shooter, that's not great. They had a couple injuries too. Daniel Gafford didn't play. He's their main rebounder, but it looks like Kyle Kuzma and Montrezl Harrell absolutely have their backs when it comes to rebounding. He didn't play Saturday. Neither did Anthony Gill, but Anthony Gill wasn't a big part of it. Rui Hachimura is currently ruled out. He's not with the team, which is big. Rui Hachimura is kind of like this all-around guy that I think the Wizards really need, but obviously they don't need him that much. They're 5-1. They're a big team right now. Cassius Winston is out too, the second-round pick from 2021. But he's also not a big piece. Obviously, you can see that they just won by 3 to a team that was expected to be pretty good this year. So that's great for them. There are a couple more games that happened, noticeably at least for me. I saw the Bulls obliterate the Jazz. And when I say obliterate, I do not actually mean obliterate. I mean, they won by 9? No, 8. But that doesn't take away from the fact that we won that game. We were much better on the defensive end, I think. They had 7 to our 5 blocks, but we had 8 to their 5 steals. And we kept the ball really well. Passed the ball really well. We did not shoot well, but neither did they. We shot better from the field than they did. They seemed like they were missing a lot of shots there. Zach LaVine did not have a great game, but he still ended with 26, 5, and 5, 9 for 19 from the floor. DeMar DeRozan had 32, 6, and 3. We're seeing some prime DeMar action right now, man. I haven't seen this DeMar for a while. I think that this is big for the Bulls. You're getting all these all-around players. You're getting Zach LaVine. You're getting DeMar. You're getting Lonzo. Lonzo was 4 of 11 in that game. 11 points, 5 rebounds. Not the greatest game. The only problem that I'm currently seeing is Nikola Vucevic. Nikola Vucevic has not had the greatest start. And I said in the beginning of the season, it was like, 3 or 4 days ago, that I was not really thinking about how his stats were looking in the first 3 games, but he does not look like he's playing good basketball right now. 39% from the field, 32% from 3. And 72% from the line. He has had a very cold start to the season. 16 points and 11 rebounds. That's cool. But with this really bad shooting start, he's got to get it together. I'm just saying he's got to get it together if the Bulls really want to make that push. They're still 5-1. One of the very few teams that are 5-1, along with the Miami Heat. That just beat the Ja Morant's Grizzlies. Ja Morant had 20 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. DeAnthony Melton also had 20 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. Funny enough, Xavier Tillman led them in rebounds with 5. And that's when you know it's a problem. They did not have the the boards at all. At all. The 32 rebounds to the Heat's 50, 26 assists to the Heat's 31. They were much better on the defensive end, which is odd, because the Heat are one of the best defensive teams in the league. The Heat played better. They shot better, 57% from the three-point line to the Grizzlies' 32, and 52% from the field to the Grizzlies' 39. So I think the Heat are something to watch out this year. If they can really complete what they're starting off with, if they can keep going strong, I think that they can they can really finish off the season well, and they can make an impact to in the playoffs, which they could not do last year, surprisingly. That's one of the two teams that are 5-1, and the third team is the Golden State Warriors, who once again obliterated the Oklahoma City Thunder. For some reason, it feels like Steph Curry has this vendetta against the Oklahoma City Thunder. He didn't even have a good shooting night. 7 for 16, 6 for 13, and that's a really good shooting night for everyone else. But for Steph, it isn't. The star of the show here, I think, was Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole also didn't have the greatest shooting night, but 14 points is a lot more than I would have seen him put up in a while. Draymond was two assists away from a triple-double. And he actually complained after the game about the Bull-esque calls. I'm not going to say that online, but without all those calls, he's saying he's starting to enjoy the games more. He's starting to enjoy how defense is played, and that's good. I think that the NBA's new rule is starting to limit the offense's way of getting around the bucket and starting to make the game just a little bit more interesting. I'm seeing 10 from Otto Porter, 2 for 4 from beyond the arc. Jonathan Kuminga did not have a great game and actually isn't having a great start. He didn't play up until this game with only 6 minutes, either way. 1 for 4 from the field, 1 for 3 from beyond the arc. But it wasn't that bad. Andrew Wiggins, 4 for 5 from beyond the arc. Andrew Wiggins had a great game, too. And let's see who else played. Those are the only 5-1 teams. I'm thinking that the Jazz are going to be a 5-1 team. They play tonight at 7 against the Bucks. It's not on live TV, but if they can find a way to beat the Bucks, if they can find a way to stop Giannis, probably with a zone, but to stop Giannis either way, that's going to be a big story. I think that might be necessary for them to even get to 5-1 and to have that advantage, that confidence to carry that confidence throughout the season. You know what I mean? But other than that, those are all the games that I think are really important. This is a really short one today because there's nothing much to talk about. I wouldn't think so. I could predict stuff for you, but I mean, it's far too late in the season for that. I know you know what I mean. Like, no, I'm playing. Looks like, and I forgot the Knicks. The Knicks are 5-1. How did I miss the Knicks? The Knicks just beat the Pelicans. The Pelicans, by the way, 1-6 without Zion. I saw Zion practicing on their floor. They do not. He doesn't look great, I would say. He does not look very healthy. That's not very nice to say, but I mean, he doesn't look. I don't know. He just doesn't look good. You know what I mean? But the Knicks didn't even play that well. I would say R.J. Barrett did. 6 for 8 from beyond the arc. 36 minutes, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. R.J. Barrett is starting to show that potential that he was picked up with the third pick. That's exactly why he was picked that high, because of all that potential that he just showed in his 35 points that he just put up. Evan Fournier with 19, 6 for 14 from beyond, 6 for 14 from the field, 5 for 8 from beyond the arc. Kemba 4 for 7 from beyond the arc. Kevin Knox II did not play and had the greatest stat line of 0.0 rebounds, 0 assists on 0 for 0 shooting. Beautiful Kevin Knox. I love that. This is exactly why the Knicks picked you with the top 10 pick. Mitchell Robinson was 3 for 3 from the field. Alec Burks 1 for 2, 10 points. Julius Randle only had 10, but obviously they don't need him that much if R.J. Barrett can be putting up 35 a night. You know what I mean? Like, R.J. Barrett has been playing some of the best basketball in his life this year. 17 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. He's been playing great. I can't wait to see his progression this year and see how far it can take him. And I'm going to go check the standings again to make sure that is all the teams that are 5-1 right now. There are a couple more games that I don't think people really want to hear about unless they're part of that team's fan base. The Magic beat the Pistons beat the Magic, rather. The Pistons they used to be the only defeated list? No, that's not the word. Team without a win. There we go. They were the last team without a win. They finally picked up one against the Magic. The Magic have only won one game too. Franz Wagner led them in scoring 19 points. 15 from Cole Anthony. Cole Anthony had a great start in his rookie season, and he's looking like he's continuing that. So great for him. The 76ers just annihilated the Hawks. Hawks are starting off pretty mediocre. And it wasn't even Trae Young that led them in scoring. Trae Young is feeling the effects of Western Conference Finals fatigue right now. He's got to get back on his game. 5 for 16. 10 assists, but only 13 points. So he's got to really get back on his game. It was Cam Reddish that led them in scoring with 16. But on the 76ers side, I'm seeing Ben Simmons with a beautiful 0 points and 0 rebounds. Sounds a lot like his stats in the playoffs. And we're also getting Tobias Harris with 22 points and 11 rebounds, 9 for 13 shooting. Let me see. Where is my boy Joel Embiid with 19 points? Not a great shooting night. 1 for 4 from beyond the arc. Only grabbed 5 rebounds in 30 minutes, which is a problem, but he'll be fine. He's been playing MVP basketball for the last, 6 games? For the last 5 games they played. I don't think this game says much about what he can do, but what his limits are, you know. And let's see. And I was going to talk about the Clippers because they recently played, not yesterday, but 2 days before. They are 1-4 right now. The Clippers, Paul George had 42. Again. Jesus Christ, Paul George is playing fantastic. Just before I was doing this, I was going to say that Paul George has been feeling the fatigue of having to, carry this Clippers team. Because he just went 6 for 20 the day before that game, or at least 2 days before that game. He went 6 for 20. And so I was worried if Paul George was feeling the fatigue. Obviously not if he's putting up 42, 8 and 2 on 6 for 9 shooting from 3. And guess what? They still lost that game to Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard put up 25, by the way. It's 9 for 17 from the floor. Larry Nance Jr., 3 points with 10 rebounds. He's showing exactly why he was traded there. The Blazers kind of wanted him for the defense. This team is not strong on the defensive end. Obviously, if you're being led by Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum, it's not the greatest tandem when it comes to defense. So with Yusuf Nurkic and Larry Nance Jr. and Robert Covington commanding the backcourt, I think that, or rather the front court, I think that this team might be a little bit stronger on the defensive end. But other than that, I think that is all I need to talk about. I will see y'all on the flip side. That is kind of it. And peace.